What are you doing, beloved?
Attention, attention, my black brothers. What I want y'all to do right now is take out the do-rag, the silky, tie it down. I want to see the waves glistening. If you got nappy hair, pick it. Don't let nobody discourage you.
Ariel.
Black boy, black boy.
I know that's right.
Icy.
I'd be making the fuck out these cocktails. Know me. I'm like the housewife because I be hosting people. Now, I slipped up when Devery was here on Sunday because I told him I was going to make him dinner, but I forgot that he was coming here and that we weren't doing our meeting on Zoom. So, he gets here and I was like, oh, God damn, I'm supposed to make dinner. So we had to order pizza. But normally I'd be on ready, honey, and I make a full spread and I serve cocktails. Know me.
She did serve me some cocktails, and
I'm glad y'all had pizza that day.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, so guys, we definitely spent New Year's together. And everything was fine. I got there late. We were ordering pizza. We wait like 30 minutes, no pizza, 45 minutes, no pizza, an hour, no pizza. Bitch, we got to 12 o'clock and still no motherfucking pizza. That shit closed at what time?
I
was
think
it
like
10?
11? Like 10 or 11, yeah.
Them niggas, they really gypped us. Like, that was some real shit.
And y'all, I was so mad because it said that it delivered, and I was heated if they would have delivered and we did not get it. If we didn't see it, I was heated.
You were so mad. You were so mad. Like, I recorded a video of me singing 34, 35, and when it flipped back over to Devery, he was angrily standing by the door, like, not amused at all.
I was ready, and y'all know I was ready to, like, square up with whoever. Huh?
I thought someone took it as well. I was like,
I did. But they did not charge me because I think they were closed or something of that nature. So it was resolved.
Called. They could easily have actually called. I'm sure your number's on there.
Because they usually call and tell me that the pizza's outside or the pizza's downstairs. So that was the thing that confused and puzzled me was that they never did none of that. So I was like,
they literally went through every step. Like, oh, it's being prepared. Oh, it's in
the
oven. It's almost ready.
We also ordered it at like 9:18, and it did not. It said it started to deliver at like 11:30.
And if it closed, even if it closed at 10, like 42 minutes is not unreasonable.
It was New Year's. So, did you have a question still?
I feel like I didn't know if we answered this question before or not, but like, what would your like OnlyFans name be?
Oh, we did not ask this. This is damn.
I have mine.
Oh, Mr. Charles Walker in the building. Come on.
Yeah, go on here first, honey. I want to hear it.
It's tied to this nickname that my bestie from college, she was like, we were co-RAs in the building, and she knew that I was an aspiring Robin. No. At points, I was like, this seems really like something cool. But no, like a Rihanna fan. So her IG, when it first came out, it was like bad girl, whatever. I was like, okay, let me make mine. So it would probably be bad boy cha-cha 626, because that's also like my area code, like back home. So that was like my first IG name. So I think I would take that with me to OnlyFans.
Is 626 because of Stitch?
No, girl, it's area code.
No, it's my area code.
I totally missed that because I had an issue with this mic. I was trying to get it closer and the bitch slid, so I had totally missed that. Nonetheless, Experiment 626 is definitely Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, so shout out to that.
Do you have one? I want to wait till be last because I'm still trying to figure out, or I'm gonna just keep it basic. But do you have one yet?
You know what? I asked the question and did not know what I was gonna say. Let me see, it would probably be Boonchi Bandit.
They want that boonchi. They want that boonchi. Girl, give us the context. What?
Oh, why Boonchi Bandit?
Yes.
Well, because it's Boonchi slaps and Bandit because it's alliteration. I really wanted to get King in there, but then I was like, I don't know that I want to associate my name with my OnlyFans. So let me.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never thought of it. I think I might go basic and just use my podcast name, Lord Devery. But like I don't know if I want to do that or Lord D or
I was gonna say,
something. I don't know if I want to do that. I've
Yeah,
never
see?
thought of it.
For real, that's a real thing. Like, do you want your actual like
I
brand
don't
to be associated with your OnlyFans? Because I don't. I don't.
Devin said, I don't need it to be correlated
doesn't.
with that. But some people put theirs together and like they're making money putting it with their brand. Devin said, not I.
No,
Yeah,
because I feel like I'm not gonna box my brand into that. Like, you know how people are. It's not even about how like obviously don't have a problem with OnlyFans, but I also want to do a lot of things, and I'm not entirely sure that I want my brand to be associated with my OnlyFans. But that's stupid to say because I'd still be on the OnlyFans.
okay.
you would have two brands.
See, I feel that, and I definitely identify with having more than one brand and more than one space. Honestly, rappers do it all the time when they end up in the acting field. So I totally believe that I have a right to do that as well.
What? They do that in the act?
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at Childish Gambino / Donald Glover. Two different people.
Yeah.
Know that
is true.
they have a liberty to do that. People don't. People when you do it the reverse.
Well, I just thought
people,
about
like
Will.
don't associate that.
I thought about Will Smith. I don't think he like separated well.
Good rapper.
Or like the Fresh Prince, I think. I don't know if that was his
Oh,
rap
was
name.
that? Yeah,
I don't know. But what is up, everybody? It is your boy, Lord Devery.
And I'm Derwinking.
First of all, why the hell is everybody eating but me?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I did not actually. I forgot where I was.
I'm done with the strawberry.
Charles got
And
the
I put
chocolate
this-
cover.
I
What
put
you
the
eat?
Starburst in my mouth. It was an accident. I'm so sorry, y'all. I do
Juicy.
not usually do this without my muting my mic, so my timing was off. I apologize.
Oh my God. Okay, take two. What is up, everybody? It is your boy, Lord Devery.
And I'm Derwin King.
And welcome back to another episode of That Bag Boy Joy, where we create a space where Black boys can be themselves.
And so much more.
We made it to 2021, y'all. Barely.
I was just about to say, I was like, girl,
We
about to
made
skin
it, y'all.
on it.
I am surprised, but I'm happy that we are here. But I'm just like, child, we are here. And today we have our lovely friend Charles Walker. He's been on the show before, but we have him with us today.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
How do you feel about being a part of the show twice, Charles?
This might sound this might sound dramatic, but like I remember the first time we did the show, we were sitting in honestly it was a studio. It felt like a studio to me. You say it's a closet, I say it's a studio. But it felt very professional. You guys are always on your ones and twos with the flow of things, and so I think that as you continue to grow, and congratulations on still being here, still thriving. And I know you have some things coming up in this new year. So I know the people, myself included, are excited to see that. But being on again, it's going to be great. I try to listen to episodes whenever I can. And so this should be cool. And like, it's on camera. So this is also a different element. So I'm like looking at myself like, how I look like.
I just want to note that we always have you here. Like, this is the second time that we've had you here when some political bullshit is going on, because it was definitely what happened last time. I don't. What was going on last year when we had you on?
It was the election.
It was.
Was it really?
Yeah,
it was the election.
It was like pre.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
like this?
we were talking about that.
Oh my God! It was the primary.
Mm-hmm.
Primaries. Wow. Time really just fucking flies. Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
that was
ironic.
pre-pandemic.
Yep. It was when we were able to be together, even though we've been together safe, of course, but it was when we were actually like shooting together. Yeah. So it was like, it was literally like a couple months ago. Like, I want to say like probably February.
Girl, that was a year ago. It's got to be over a year.
It's about to be a year. It's
Yeah,
like over a year ago.
It's about to be a year. So it's ironic that you're part of the show this episode. And of course, we have a lot of hot topics about what's going on in today's crazy ass society. But yeah, thank you for being with us. Devin, what is up? Y'all, he has a new haircut. He is a new
Mhm.
person.
So, filming this project, it's called The Souls of Black Pebbles. Really excited about it. The script is great. And I'm playing the lead. So, character is very different from the last one that I did, and also very different from me. So, of course, I had to do a look transformation. I
Mhm.
don't miss my hair. I love having hair, but I feel like I do this every 2 years. Like, I'll cut my hair completely off, and then I'll grow the bitch, and then I'll cut it off. I don't care. At some point, I'll be 50, and my hair will probably be all over the place, like Jay-Z's, and I just won't have a care. This is a Sagittarius thing.
Is he? He's a Sag, right?
He is.
I'm in love with the Sagittarius. He
You're
blew my mind. No, is that it? Is that
Sorry.
it? I think that's it. Mm. Well, that's good. I'm glad you are booked and busy, bitch. You started
yeah.
off the new year in a bag. You said not one. I have another show coming up for the girls. So we are super excited for you and all of that. I'm good. I just got off. Y'all know I just got off my traveling, my whatever expedition or journey. Y'all know I've traveled
World
throughout
tour.
the
Judge
holidays.
him.
My
Judge him.
world tour. I do not have a world tour. World
You know how
tour.
do people feel about traveling during a pandemic?
I drove back home to Ohio. So I drove. I don't think I'm going back anytime soon. Cross my fingers. Please don't go
Are
back.
you hoping there's
And
not a
hope to
reason
not.
to go back? Because
I
the
hope
last
there's no
few reasons
reason.
have been good.
Yeah, but
It's like it's great.
I just need to just slow down. So I'm back. I'm ready to get into my mental health seriously, and then also the podcast. We welcoming back into the new year. So that's pretty much the gist for me. But yeah,
Charles?
let's get in. Oh, what you about to say?
We didn't ask Charles. You gonna just skip
We
over
did
our
ask
guest?
Charles. I thought, oh, how are you doing, Charles? I'm sorry, I mixed up us asking you coming, you being back. As how are you doing? Second of all, I think of Charles as like our person in the field. Shows have people that are like they're not like a host, but they're the people
Oh
that be
yeah,
like
yeah,
reporting
yeah.
live from the Capitol. We have Charles Walker out in the field. That's
Look
what
at
we
him.
have.
Of the insurrection that befell us. No, I'm kidding. I'm doing.
How
I'm
are you?
doing. I'm doing okay. I've been through, I think, the beginning of some internal transitions, whether it be with just the new year, personal things, trying to fix up some family issues that have really rocked me for the past year, and then
Oh wow.
continuing to grow my relationship with my friends and my brother, especially. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, other than that, I'm looking towards potentially Cali bound this year. It's one of my goals. I'm manifesting it. So, be back in my
As in
hometown with
permanently, like move.
the, yeah, relocating. Making my way back to the West. Because I've been
Yes.
saying it for years. Like, okay, let's see if this happens. But yeah, I'm really trying to plan and make sure that's a thing. Um, and yeah, I'm on this podcast today, so I'm
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm
I want to.
excited.
Excuse me. I wanted to ask you, how has it been for you to, and for you all, Charles has not been back home to visit and things of that nature. So how has it been for you during this quarantine to not see family or friends in the California area as much, or just like in general? How has it been for you?
It has been it was very it was I think it was more challenging in the middle of the pandemic. I think when March and April hit, I was just like, yeah, like this is for everyone's safety. Um, it was right around, I think, when there was a couple of major shifts that were happening. I mean, it's always been we live in a white supremacist terrorist state, but the fact that the type of imagery that we just couldn't escape. I had checked out of like watching initial videos of Black Death. Like obviously the first one that I can remember in my lifetime specifically was that really hit me with Trayvon Martin, and I was in school.
Yep.
But then fast forwarding to, you know, the beginning of the pandemic, the multiple pandemics. I feel like people like to say that to like boil it all down, but we've been living in an epidemic of the destruction of Black bodies. But getting through it, not being able to see like family in that way was definitely hard. I thought a lot about my mom, my dad. My dad is a business owner. He owns a barber shop in Pasadena, Just in Time Hair Trends. And
I love
so
that.
Shout it out.
1272 North Lake Avenue. But literally, he has really struggled during this time, especially with the shutdowns that are happening. I'm reading crazy figures. Los Angeles County is reporting a new COVID-related death like every 8 minutes. And I'm just like, okay, so that's insane.
No. Wait a motherfucking minute.
That's intense.
Yeah, I have no idea why the rate in California is so egregious compared to like social media is a monster because it will show you imagery of like Atlanta like popping, you know, like going to club, you see hookah, like everyone's out, all these artists are having these extravagant things. And I don't know if I necessarily see it being broadcast as much in LA. I don't know if that's contributing to it. I don't know what the issue is. Because California was on lock. Like Gavin Newsom was about shutting it down, but there are now a lot of sheriff's offices that are not willing to actually enforce some of these like shutdown orders. They're like rejecting what he's saying because they're saying he's like a hypocrite because his school, his kids go to private schools that have been open during this time, and that he actually doesn't care about everyone's well-being, and like we just don't mess with him. So that has been frustrating. But my mom, thankfully, she has been able to manage working in a library. She's a librarian, but it hasn't been open to the public, so she's been safe. My brother, he's a medical student, and he has been safe during this time, wearing PPE whenever he is doing rotations in the hospital and just managing it. But then I had a conversation with another friend of mine who's in the Bay, and I've been finding different ways to find, I was missing nourishment in my life to really feel complete and like okay, and being so isolated, because I was very, very isolated. I also moved during this time, so I was living with like my landlady, so I was never like truly alone, but there were moments where I felt like alone because I didn't want to engage. But now I live in a house with 4 other people, and so I just feel like there's always, you know, ways for me to engage and you know, figure it out. But not seeing the Cali people, it has been tough, but I see that's going to change this year. So I'm making that change. And you know, don't get this vaccine when it's available come June.
Okay, you better get that. Well, we just wanted to check in with you. Go ahead. Oh, were you finished?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
This is the dilemma with Zoom. You don't know, somebody stop it or go.
Yes, I'm done. Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
No, I mean, we'll be continuing to talk throughout. I just wanted to just check in with you and see how you're doing. And also, of course, if you need support from us, you know who to call.
Absolutely.
Ghostbusters, you know, nourish you. I know we're not your Cali friends, but we can be close enough or side by side or something. But yes. But we are going to get into our Black Boy Joy spotlight for today. And I have been practicing saying this person's name, so if I do butcher it, y'all, I apologize. But today's Black Boy Joy spotlight is a man by the name of Elijah Blade. He is a former competitive figure skater, and I actually seen him posted on a video online of him figure skating somewhere it's very cold. Every time I see somewhere, y'all, very cold. I think Utah. I don't know why.
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City. Right. But he is a former figure skater, and he has a video that is actually going viral on Instagram and TikTok right now. TikTok of him figure skating just carelessly and just very free and things of that nature. And I think it's something that has taken a lot of people like by off guard because I've never seen a black male figure skater, and seeing him also do it to like I think it was like R&B or like something or like some hip hop or something of that nature. Just was like defined. He's also swagged out as well. Like it
More
wasn't
of
no
that.
typical tight figure skating outfit. It was very much like a bomber jacket, some like distressed jeans and things of that nature. So that was really um, dope to see a black man in a space where we don't see us that much, and also just being free and also being able to intertwine the intersections of blackness, um, figure skating, and also just like him. Also, he's Canadian as well. So like intertwining all of those. But just to give y'all a little bit more background, see, Bald or Blade, I pronounce it. I apologize. Um, is retired from competitive figure skating 2 years ago after a successful career skating for Team Canada and many international competitions. And another interesting fact is he was introduced to skating at the age of 7 by his mother. And though at first he would hide his skates to avoid practicing, he eventually began to love skating when he was 10. So it's actually interesting to see how you would hate something as a child, but then grow to love it and it be your career moving forward or your passion and things of that nature. So that's just like really cool story that I wanted to like shout out. And also, when y'all see the video, please like it, retweet, comment, do all that thing. Show our Black boys that we are in these spaces as well. So if they want to do figure skating, show up and show out. And you also don't have to conform in certain aspects. You want to go out into the hood and go on that ice river, be careful, fuck it up. And that is our spotlight for the week. Did you
Shout
have
out
any
to
comments?
you.
Yes.
No, I wanted to say that you know, a lot of us, most of us, not every one of us, has this like urge to express ourselves. So, and it's not always in the way that we think we're going to like enjoy doing. So I can imagine being like, I don't want to do this, with them feeling like my soul is like yearning for this, and then actually getting there and finding out there's some part of you who needs to like come out and show yourself in this grandiose manner because of that. And that can be in anything, even a quiet hobby like
Mm-hmm.
in like painting, or you know, you just do something and before you know it, you're exposing your insides in some tremendous way.
Yeah, I think it's helpful for Black boys and Black men specifically to have outlets for our emotions, whether it is like a sport or art or something else of that nature, music, things of that nature. I feel like it's very important to have a hobby under our belt so that I know sometimes we can't explore our emotions like through our daily like interactions with people, but if we have a hobby that we are able to practice emoting some of our emotions through, I think that helps us be able to navigate certain spaces. Like when I was watching his video, it looked like so much emotion was put into him figure skating that I was like, bitch, I know how you feel. Even though I don't know how he feels, I'm like, I see the emotion, I see the passion. So I was really like, shout out to him for that. But
Passion is contagious, honey.
when you see passion, you're just like, yes. And I think that's why a lot of people retweet it and like are just in awe because when you see somebody passionate about something, or when you see somebody's raw emotion, it makes it feel more real and genuine instead of something that is staged.
That's literally why I'm so obsessed with jazz music and watching jazz live, because I mean, dinner time jazz sucks, because they're playing quiet so you can eat and talk over them. But when you watch like in DC, watching the jazz performers, they put every ounce of themselves in those performances, and it is so jaw dropping. Like I'm watching it in complete awe because the sound ends up being so much more intriguing. It's so interesting. And you can tell that every part of them is right there. They're like in the zone. I got that from Soul.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Do you all
Yeah,
have?
so
Oh, so the movie. Shout out to y'all. I love Soul. I
Oh,
need
it's
people to
great.
watch it so that
It's
they
great.
can get a little bit more of an idea of what it is. Um,
Because those fucking criticisms were baseless and stupid. That's
they were
why.
based on a trailer. They were
Like,
based on a
oh, we
trailer.
can never stay. Like, they never can let a black person be in the Disney. And like, honestly, him leaving his body fit the story. It is literally the narrative. And
Yeah.
I don't think it took away from his blackness or his identity at all. If anything, I thought that his blackness was relevant when he was in his body or even when his body was showing up, because at some point Tina Fey's character 22 ends up, oh sorry, my bad y'all, spoiler
Spoiler.
alert, Tina Fey's character 22 ends up inside of his body. And a lot of people had a problem with that, like of the voice of a middle-aged white woman in this black man's body, but him being black still ends up being this like common thing. We go to the barbershop experience, like that was
Yes.
great. That was so great. And finding out
Yeah.
that like a lot can be picked up and learned from that experience. And also just seeing the world through a black man's eyes. Now, could they probably have like put some like social injustice things in there? Maybe.
But do
But
you think we need that in every show that has black people in it?
no,
That's
and maybe they
okay.
could have cleverly put it in just like a little bit, like a little
Hmm.
teeny like nod to the black experience in America. Just like a teeny nod. That probably would have been
They
helpful.
did y'all see they found the cookie container?
Yeah,
I
that
Yeah.
said
was cool. I love
the
that.
blackness. I did want to ask y'all, do you all, going back to our Black Boy Joy spotlight, do you all have a hobby that y'all feel like you all can invest your emotions into or help you emote your feelings? And if you don't, that's perfectly fine. But I just was curious if y'all have like a hobby that y'all just like love. I think I know Devin's. I think I know Devin's,
I literally
but
don't have a choice but to emote when I'm acting, and that is just the
yes.
most profound way for me to express parts of myself, and it is easier to do so because they're not me.
Hmm. I know for me, when I used to, when I was younger, I played the drums for 10 years. So I think that was very helpful for me to understand my emotions. I know I was able to get all my emotions out um, through the drums, just like the aggression, but then also I was a part of like theater tropes when I was younger. So also being able to, like what like Devin said, emote emotion through other characters was way more helpful for me than doing it for myself. So I was like, oh, I can act like this other person, but can act like me, which is an interesting conversation. Do you have one, Charles Walker?
Yeah. In terms of hobbies, something that I used to do with my mom a little bit. And whenever we get together with families, like I would help with the like the flower arrangements like within our house. And so, and then also on the side, like the dream catchers that I used to make all the time. So I would literally like spend days and hours creating. Like, should I just grab one that I have?
Yes, Charles, show him your.
I
Yo,
just
I
grab.
didn't
Charles
know you
is.
did this. This is
When I tell
news
you,
to me. Oh
I
wow,
sat on the phone with
bro, that's
Charles.
so cute.
I sat on the phone with Charles and him just be so calm, doing it. You know, I'm all over the place, but Charles would be like, "Yeah, Dev, so crazy," and I'm like, "Charles, I was like, come on,
So
Charles."
cute. So crazy.
So yeah, so literally, whenever we get together with family, I'm always also sending my family flowers. So like my godmom, my aunt, I'm like choosing what they want, and I think on like Twitter I had mentioned like I want to find this florist so you guys can give him a shout out because he's like
Black man.
a man who is literally a florist and creates these amazing ass like creations. I was just like, I really wish that I could, because when you were talking earlier about the skater, I think that for a lot of us as kids, we are also taught, and like our parents tell us, some do, um,
Hmm.
and like our community, that you can't really make a living out of some of the things that you might want to go into. And I feel like that can just stifle one's ability to really like jump into something that they really like and what they're passionate about. And then you live a life that's just filled with you being unhappy and thinking like, you're second guessing yourself, and you're unable to tap into perfecting your craft and whatever that is. And like you have to then wait later, and then that can, I think, cause you to miss some opportunities. And so for me, the dream catcher, that's one thing, but then also putting together like arrangements. Like I'll do that at Thanksgiving sometimes, Christmas, like in the house. And my mom used to do that in our church, and I think she still
Oh.
does um, to this day. So like, they'll ask her to like Diane, we need you to decorate. We need you to get it together. And she does it, for the Lord. And
For the Lord.
it's
What the
really
Lord
great.
told her to do.
It's really,
Jesus.
yeah. It's really great. And so some of that has spilled, I think, onto me. But those are some things that I feel like I would love to get back into. Like to own a shop one day, that would be super
That's
dope.
adorable.
I think the only shop that I know about in DC in particular, Lee's Flower Shop on U Street, I know is Black owned. And then there's another flower shop on 14th Street that is owned by a queer person that
Exactly what you're talking about.
I
I
want
did
to
not know that.
go
Yeah,
back.
you can see
Yeah.
the little sign. They let you know.
Mhm.
One thing about a black-owned business in 2020 and 2021, honey, they're gonna let you know.
Oh, we gonna
And I
put
love it. I
Ebony in the
live
name.
for it.
Black owned.
We could put Ebony or Soul in the
Let's
name.
get up into these hot topics, honey, because what was it last Sunday? What, not the one that just passed. Damn, it's been a minute. So we
Yeah.
recently watched the final installment of the Real Housewives of Potomac
The only
reunion
interesting series right now, in my opinion.
because Housewives of Atlanta is literally ass. Don't give a fuck about what they got going on over there, like at all. I'm not even remotely interested in that shit. Devery was at my home on
That was the only
Sunday
reason we watched
and
it.
we watched it and I was just so disappointed. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's because of the pandemic." And I'm like, "Yeah, partially, but also like who gives a fuck about these people?" Like I don't. Cynthia used to I still love Cynthia. She's cute, beautiful. She can do
Also,
whatever she doing
yeah,
off camera.
yeah. Also, they could have took a season off.
That you we wouldn't maybe the anticipation would have grown and they would have had enough time to get some actual people we want to look at because Latoya Ali, is that her name? I don't give a fuck about what she got going on.
Latoya
Fallon's cute.
Ali.
That's not her name.
I don't think it's. I think it's Latoya. I can't. It's probably Ali. Don't quote us.
Latoya forever or whatever. I'm actually so sick of looking at her already. So I have decided that this Sunday is not happening. No way. I'm gonna just rest.
Are they even doing it? Yep. You Latoya forever. Latoya Ali. Yes, you are correct.
Wow, look at that. Don't even like her know her name.
She
I
actually was
like.
born in Canada.
Yeah, I know.
I
You can hear it
I
in her
like
voice.
Drew.
I thought you could hear the Trinidadian in her voice. I don't know Canadians.
Hey, the two of them mixed together, you can hear that shit.
Yeah,
Um,
you can.
Nonetheless, about Potomac, Monique shortly after the episode aired, which I have a thought about all this. She quit. She said that she is not returning. She realized what's best for her family is for her not to go back to the next season. But I just want to note that Chris Samuels is a stunt queen, and he really showed his ass. Like, no, he showed his ass. At one point, I was like, "Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, let them know." But then it was just like uncomfortable to watch. Like, he kept saying, "My son's gonna turn 15, and he's gonna see this," and I was like, first of all, why 15? Like, why is 15 the golden
I was
age
that
for your son
age.
to realize that people question his like the paternity? Secondly, do you really think in 15 years that your son's going to give a motherfuck about somebody starting a rumor that you weren't his father? I mean, really? It's just like, yeah, you're upset, but honey, you could have been upset off camera. Like, this is not the first time that somebody has done or said something egregious. Like, I don't mind Monique getting up there and reading the girls and exposing them, but Chris just
That's her
did too
job.
fucking much. And I didn't know he had gotten up on that live to say that he was going to beat them or that he wanted to beat them down. Also, didn't realize he said something about Caitlyn Jenner, called her Bruce Jenner.
Yeah.
I, I wish I love Monique, but I just wish she could just reel her husband in. Like,
She was
girl, just
supporting him through it, girl. She was here for him doing that. She was
he
like, "My,
literally
that's
was
my
going.
man. That's my man. My man."
I said, I said, wow, not y'all being trash together.
Listen, they married. They said, "Bitch, we." That's why they love each other. They trashed. I want to be. I want to have a partner like that too. Me
We
and my
would have to have a
partner.
conversation. Like, you're not gonna do that to me. Don't embarrass me, especially since like it was transphobic because he used, first of
Oh
all,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Caitlin's
Not.
dead name, and secondly, used like her transness as a device. Like,
Yeah.
I
If I was
just
Bruce
wish I
Jenner,
could turn into a trans person so I could whoop your ass. It's like, really?
yeah, I was like, I wasn't agreeing with that. Now I was agreeing with him and his wife. Tired of the mess, but not them. Just was like, what did Bruce, Caitlyn? I apologize. See now, what did Caitlyn Jenner have to do with that?
So Monique's
Specifically,
like
her dead name.
close friend. And the one who styled her for the reunion is a trans woman. Shout out to Riley Knox. Love you,
Come on,
girl.
Riley. She made her look good. I think I'm perfectly fine with Monique leaving.
Really? I'm actually
I am.
disappointed.
I don't need her to be on that show because I realized nobody was really um truly her friend in my opinion, except for
Karen.
Karen. And I think I would not want to be on a show where you see people purposefully wanting to not see you win or have a like evilness towards you. So I'm going to miss seeing her face. However, I don't think she should have stayed because after this, what does the season look like after this
I,
debacle of a reunion?
they said they're supposed to be switching it up because now that Monique's gone, they have no reason to harp
Good,
on the fight. But I'm
good.
interested in I guess we're just gonna have to sit up and look at Candace and Ashley fight again because without Monique, Ashley doesn't I mean not Ashley, Candace doesn't have a storyline. Don't get me wrong, you know I'm a fan of her song I See You. I really fuck with it
I do like that. I
sometimes.
like the
Like that
go-go
shit
version
is
better.
it. Like that shit slaps. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. But I don't want to sit up there and look at her no more. Like I'm sick of it. I'm sick
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, something's in my eye. I might keep touching it, but continue, Devin. I'm like, ooh.
So we'll see what goes on. I really want somebody else to stay on Giselle's neck. It was delightful seeing somebody really get her together. And I want whoever comes on the next season to have a specific beef with her. And then I want them to get together with Karen and light her ass the fuck up. Because you know what? She's had 5 seasons of it coming. 5 fucking seasons. It's time, girl. Time to reap what you have sown, honey.
Five
All that
seasons.
evil and that jealousy, honey. She was waiting to get Monique the fuck up out of there. She couldn't wait. Couldn't stand to look at somebody prettier than her, more successful than her. And now, honey, I gotta live in it. And that's that.
That's my read. And that is my read.
And that is
That's
What's
how
Selena
you get
saying?
the girls together.
Because, bitch, I'm a bitch that's prettier than you, more pulled up than you.
Ooh, who is
I forgot what the
Selena?
other part of it. Selena Johnson to Nietzsche Gilbert. Her
Oh,
name was
off
Nikki, but I
of
spell it. I feel
R&B
like it's like
Divas.
Nietzsche.
uh,
Yeah,
R&B
and
Divas.
that's more pulled up than you.
I'm done. Yeah,
And you're
I
gonna look
wish.
a mess, black gums and all. That's low with a
Not you
man's
with these
knees.
quotes.
Girl, I used to be an R&B Divas fan. Do not theft me.
what shifted it for you? Why'd you stop?
Girl,
Oh, the
show's
show
over.
stopped. Well, first of all, Chrisette Michelle ended up on the Hollywood installment and Lil Mo, and first of all, I know now that we're almost out of a Trump administration, I want y'all to know I'm about to go back to staying in Chrisette
You
Michelle.
you loved her while you were still listening to her, not as heavy though.
Did you just put me out there? Did you just put my niggas on the street?
Y'all,
I think
or
so.
just he listened to her discreetly and his close friends.
I do Chrisette. I don't do Chrisette's last 2 projects, but I do Chrisette now, honey. I see
Fair.
it for Miss Chrissy. So she was on that show and I was just so happy to see her. And somehow she ended up in a beef with Shantae Moore. And then after Shantae Moore, she ended up in a beef with some girl that I don't even remember her fucking name. Whitney Houston didn't like her. She was stupid. I don't know. I really wish I could remember her. No, I don't. Fuck her. Anyway, did you guys hear the recent rumors with Kanye West and Jeffree Star?
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
I don't
I
either.
am puzzled
I
where
am too.
the
Doesn't make any
fuck
sense. And the
it
girls are
came from.
running with it. And they're
Yeah.
come up with new things. Like today, it was a video of Laverne and Angelica Ross talking
Yes, I
about
remember that.
the gay men in the industry, and they were like, "Oh, they were talking about Kanye," and I was like, "You have no indication of that. Y'all pulled this right up out your assholes. They're just bored. The girls are bored.
I mean, they're talking about somebody, but girl, it's a lot of niggas. I didn't even cross.
Plenty of
It
'em.
didn't. It didn't cross my mind that it was Kanye. I probably didn't care if it was Kanye.
I didn't care to guess because we already know them niggas is gay. Like, duh. Like what?
Trust me, really, we knew these niggas was gay. I think it's funny because it's also during the rise of these rumors that Kim and Kanye are divorcing, and I heard that it was. She said that this is a rumor that the final straw was when he was running for president.
Yeah, because obviously he's not going to take his medication, and if you're not going to do that, personally, it's your responsibility to take care of your mental health.
Yep.
It's your loved ones, they should be supporting you. Like your loved one's job is to support you, as is yours to support them. But if you're not going to do what the fuck you're supposed to do, I have no obligation to stand here with you because you're not going to drag me down with you. It, for better or worse, until you literally start sabotaging us. And at that point, it's in the best interest of me and our children to walk away.
Okay, I really I don't have that many words for Kanye. I don't really care for Kanye nor Jeffree Star. So
Why Jeffree Star?
there was some tweets that I think he like listened to. His like says had commented saying like last night was fun, or that was a great studio session. Some shit. I don't know if it was true or not. Girl, Star wants attention. So
Honestly, always. Then put up a ready for Sunday service. I really wish that y'all on social media would pay Jeffree Star dust. Like I don't understand how we have gotten to this point in 2021 where he's like still ridiculously like
girls, the white people.
relevant.
It's the
No,
white people.
You know what? But the whites have made a series of terrible decisions in the first 7 days of January of 2021.
Oh, we gonna talk
So
about that. We gonna talk about that.
Trust them motherfuckers for a motherfucking thing, and I mean that. Period. So, did you get your stimmies?
First of all,
get your
Devin,
stimmies?
you leading hot topics. I love right now, just to let you know, because the way you're segueing and the way you read, and then just next one.
You know, you can't force time on these bitches. You give them what they deserve, and you gotta go on, honey. Leave
Hey,
them
that
in
bitch is dust.
leave 'em
Let's
in
talk.
the-
Leave me in the dust, bitch. Let's talk about this shit.
So, did you guys get your stimmies?
Finally. So
Something
there was
no?
there was like a whole issue with customers of like H&R Block and TurboTax. People were like, you could check the status of your stimulus like on irs.gov, and it would tell you like it has been mailed.
Delivered.
Yeah, and it will give you like the last four numbers of the account that it was put in. But the account number that they put my second stimulus in was not my actual like bank account. So I was like, where's my money? I had to check my return that I did with H&R Block for 2019, and they put it in an account that they use to send to me. So I don't know if it's like just their account that they use, like a generic ass account that they use to
Amiana.
release the customers. But I got like half of it on Tuesday, and then I got the second half yesterday. So I sent them
$300 installments. That. Call up. Do not file your taxes with H&R Block ever a fucking again, because I did TurboTax and that shit happened so quickly. The day that they told us we were getting stimulus checks, literally like a day or two later, my shit was in my account. That's like, oh God. The Lord was looking.
What's wild is that I had been doing my taxes with the same black dude every year, and this is the first like mess up that happened. I tweeted them. I said, y'all messed up, but I guess you fixed it.
Yeah, they sent you the money.
But I'm glad. Yeah. What about you, Dev?
Yeah, I haven't got mine. Mine, I believe, got sent to my old address. So I do have my mail
anyone there?
forwarded. I'm not sure. I have my mail forwarded to my new place, so hopefully I'll get it next year. Because I'm being extra. I'm just at a point. Well, so my last stimulus got mailed late, as well.
Why are people being mailed? What is that about?
I don't know why mine is mailed, because they have my fucking direct deposit,
Yeah,
which
what
is
the
so
fuck is going
puzzling to
on?
me. Y'all know how to take motherfucking money out of my account, but y'all know how to put that motherfucking shit back in. It makes no sense. Just the same way as they do with credit cards. They know how to take the money off, and when I need that money back on my account, it takes them 7 to 10 business days. No.
Banking with, because maybe that's the goddamn issue. Because you don't know what I'm banking with.
Pretty nigga cash. Good job. Good job with you. Good for you. But no, I don't have lines yet. A bitch is waiting patiently. I can't do nothing else but wait by the mail day by day. That's all I can do. Is hopefully
I'm now expecting an additional 1,400. Shout out to Joe Biden.
Yeah, I want this shit, and I want 2,000 from Maryland too. Get me all the money. I need that money.
Give me it now. Also, that's a perfect segue, Charles. So Democrat Raphael Warnock, did I say that? Warnock? Correct. As Warnick defeats Republican incumbent Kelly Loeffner. What is it, Charles?
Kelly Loeffler.
Kelly Loeffner to become
Thought
Georgia's
so.
first Black senator. So
Stupid way to spell Loeffler. That's a dumbass way to spell Loeffler.
Yeah, I was like, Charles, I need you to help me, girl, because I know you know these people's biographies. I know you know before they got into cabinet, all that.
I was looking. Like, no, you know what? That's a lie. I actually.
Girl, we didn't hear what you said.
Oh.
We didn't hear what you said.
Yeah, for like 10 seconds, we didn't hear you.
Oh, y'all didn't hear me?
No, you said, and then
my
came
bad.
back.
So I had faith in Georgia. I was a little skeptical because as it started, I could see that it wasn't looking great for one of them. Who was running out for because this one was a special one. There was the other one, right? I saw that there was a difference between the two people who were running.
Yeah, so Kelly Loeffler was appointed after the former senator was left office for health reasons, and so Meghan McCain mentioned
She's the next bitch on our list.
She sometimes has looks. I'll give her that. Yeah, just said that she was. I think she was mad, but she pretty much said that Kelly was a wooden candidate in terms of like she wasn't like a polished politician, but the fact that the WNBA team that she owned like disavowed themselves from her and said that she's a piece of shit and we actually don't fuck with her, even though she owns the team.
Not the basketball team, just owning a boss.
Yeah, but the other election was with John Ossoff and Purdue. I think it's David Perdue.
The one that was close. I was like, oh shit. Purdue was in there for a while. I was like, I don't know how it's gonna go, y'all.
I'm just glad we got those two.
I just learned about a little bit about why the runoff system was created.
Yeah, like what the fuck is that?
So pretty much it's like most things, it's racist and it's meant to further disenfranchise like Black voters. But Georgia was like one of those original states that they became worried once Blacks began acquiring like the ability to actually vote safely without intimidation, that white candidates would no longer win because their vote would be split amongst like two white candidates. So they're like, said, okay, so like the people with the most percentages of the votes will then have like an additional runoff because then our white candidate will be able to receive all of those split white votes to take out like this black man, this Black candidate. And I was just like, okay, so Georgia still has that law on the books. I think that with both of them now in those Senate seats, maybe it can change, but I think it might stem from like the governorship, and that race isn't going to happen until 2022. Stacey Abrams has still said, "Girl, I can't see the far ahead. I may run again. I can't run again, but I would love it if she did."
Yeah, I didn't know, to be honest. I didn't know why the hell Georgia was taking so long to vote. I did not know what they were voting on. I'm gonna just name that, y'all, until Charles had informed me. I was like, why are they still telling us to vote? Or they were specifically talking to Georgia?
I never questioned it. I knew that we were waiting on them, and when that shit wasn't over in November, I was like, oh, okay, so for whatever reason, this is just a normal thing that Georgia has 2 months, and I literally never questioned it.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know. Y'all vote. Go out there and vote.
I'm just satisfied because I just really want my money and I want it now.
You think we can really get it? You think we're gonna really get this?
It's my money, and I need it now.
You think we gonna get that?
If Maryland gets their shit together and I get another $2,000, let me just tell you how a bitch will be abundantly happy. Okay, so I'm gonna plant that seed. Maryland, help a broke bitch out. All right.
Wait, are we supposed to be getting 2,000 as well?
They're talking about it.
I think it's definitely gonna happen. Like the agenda of this administration, like they're gonna give us more stimulus. I don't know if it'll be 2,000. It could be. Who knows? Who knows?
Stimulate the fuck out this bitch.
We'll see what they do.
I want to be stimulated. The fuck?
I want to be stimulated. But yeah, we are going to move into our hot topics. And
wait.
we're going to move that to our hot topics. Go, go, Devin.
We still got one more thing to talk about.
I think. Oh, go.
That bullshit that we are in right now.
That's what I was moving
them
to.
Motherfuckers. Was that shit yesterday?
Yep.
Why does it feel like that was 2 days ago?
Right.
Okay, so the fact that these motherfuckers, let me just tell y'all how I found out, because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I saw a video that morning of niggas in the streets, and I was like, I don't understand why there's still protests happening, but okay, because just like 3 weeks ago they were in the streets fighting with each other, so I just thought it was a continuation of that, which it was, but I didn't realize what point we were at. So I'm talking to my supervisor on the phone, and she's watching the news, and she's like, they just got into the Capitol building. And I said, who? And she said,
the white folks.
And I was like, well, what the hell is going on? What they mad about? And she said, the votes. Hey, we were 14 days away yesterday. No, is it today? No, yesterday.
Yes,
yesterday we were 14 days away. Motherfucking inauguration. Okay. 14. And we're 13 today. Y'all are really gonna push this to the motherfucking edge. I just don't understand why white supremacists are so fucking sick. Like, they genuinely are just completely delusional, and they genuinely don't have a single healthy brain cell in their empty ass heads. Like, those motherfuckers are so goddamn dumb that they make Portia Williams look like a fucking genius.
Not you gotta throw Martin Luther Porsche up in here. Portia Luther King does not have to be part of this conversation. Okay, Rosa Williams does not need to be here.
Rosa Williams.
She did not lead change for you to disrespect her like that. No, but dead ass. I'm just used to white people show their ass when they don't get their way. Period.
Every time.
They don't care. They don't. First of all, I think Black people was cracking up. I was laughing because I was like, I love seeing them show their ass because the motherfuckers be doing the most. The issue I have is white people are known historically to not be afraid of nothing. They are not afraid of anything because none of these systems are for them.
Yeah, they don't have to be. Like, they knew that they weren't going to be murdered on impact. Like, they knew if they when they got up in that bitch, wasn't nobody about to just open fire on their asses. They know that. And honestly, I said that yesterday. I was like, the military and the government are never going to allow a large number of white people to be murdered. They will not allow them to be killed. That cannot happen. The minute that more than 10 white people die in one sitting, we are in a war. Like, this
is a catastrophe.
America is burning. America is burning.
Yes.
And so I knew that shit was not going to happen. But what I did not realize, I suspected, but didn't fully grasp in my brain, was that they just let them motherfuckers in there. Like, they were like, come on in.
Second door on the left. If you go past the elevator, you're too far.
I'll show you the motherfucking way.
What'd you say?
I was like, because in talking with some of my friends about it, it just seems like people who say that some Black folks have suspicions and conspiracy theories about authoritarian figures like the feds coordinating with KKK, white supremacists, extremist groups. That was on display yesterday because how the fuck did they know how to get to the speaker's office and the fucking floor of the Senate and the House? I was furious yesterday. And I'm even more furious that the people who are gonna have to repair and clean up the fucking Capitol, which was built by our ancestors, are going to be Black and brown people.
Absolutely.
So I'm pissed. I'm pissed by that. And I think they should, the FBI should catch all the white people that broke in there, and they should force them to clean it up, fix it up, patch all the shit up because it's ridiculous. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think since they went for the cabinet, they fucked up the presidential thing, the thing that we've had, ingrained in our society forever. I think that was the straw for them. But like I said, girl, it's white folks versus white folks. They are going to have a conversation. They're going to just be like, please don't do that again. I don't understand what the significance is. Like white people going white people, like it is their fucking innate ability to be white folks. Like
I
laugh.
I wanted to ask Devin if you actually think
Watch this nigga go.
they are going to invoke the 25th Amendment and
No.
remove this nigga.
I know they fucking trying, so we'll see how the fuck that shit go. I know they trying. I've been watching news all fucking day, and they've been talking about that shit all day.
This nigga literally said sick 'em, and then said, I don't have nothing to do with that.
We're gonna fight back again.
Like what? And that was the thing that baffled me. It didn't matter what implicit messages were sent out here. It didn't matter. I mean, like some of the liberal media was like, okay, stand back, stand down. We know what that means. But them motherfuckers were so shocked that he stood up in front of them and was like, get their asses. And they did it. But the thing that they've been talking about on MSNBC all day. Sorry, the news is actually still playing in here, and I just saw Donald Trump Jr. up on there. Anyway, what was the last thing I said?
25th Amendment, like the process, you were watching it all day.
Oh yeah. So they were like, they've been talking about this for weeks. Like they said they were going to do this on this day. So where was the security? Where was the question? And I was like, well, obviously you guys know exactly what happened there. They don't care. They don't give a fuck. It wasn't like they thought they were bluffing. They knew good and goddamn well that they were going to act on their promises. I ain't never seen a racist group of people make a promise and not fall through with that shit. They're going to do that reckless, stupid ass shit. They're going to show up.
They're gonna show up. And I think that was a lot of us too. A lot of black folks was watching this shit. Like, if this, and everybody said it unanimously, if this was the Black Lives Matter movement, bitch, we would have been massacred. We would have been, first of all, we was peacefully protesting and getting our asses handed to us.
Girl, we were on the fucking lawn of the Capitol building. I vividly remember us sitting up there singing them Negro spirituals on the lawn of the Capitol building, and they were lined up like we had, like them bitches was ready to fuck us up off the strength of us sitting down singing Negro spirituals. Okay, that motherfucker got all the way in there and started breaking shit.
They were armed, they had bombs, like they weren't wearing masks, like all these things, right? All these things, like you're 4 times as bad, like, but you're still getting in, smashing shit.
It took Nancy Pelosi's fucking podium and
the bomb like help niggas walk down the stairs afterwards, and like took selfies and like,
and like somehow that wasn't like, hey, like these niggas is motherfucking dangerous, like. It was just kind of rushed through. Like, I cannot, and it's so interesting because white people are now, for the first time in their fucking lives, seeing how biased the media is about these things, how biased the government and military are about these things, that it took so long for the National Guard to even get out there.
You know, I was just cracking up, y'all. I literally was just laughing like shit. Like, the white people, and I'm like, I just wanted somebody, God forbid, I wanted some shit to happen. I wanted them to fucking some tear gas,
they got it. They got that straight to the face.
I just don't. I think it was. I don't see. First of all, how did they get all the way in and taking pictures? That was the thing that bothered the fuck out of me. Like nobody shot them. Nobody hit them with a baton. Nobody tased them. Nobody.
They Mr. Rogers. They asked, "Come on, nigga."
Yeah. So it just shows me white privilege at its finest and the power. Like, first of all, we already know the KKK were police officers. They were the sheriffs. They were the deputies. We all know that. So that is no surprise that they had assistance with getting into the building. I think it's just the issue to me is the comparison and the aggressiveness that we see with these protesters versus the Black Lives Matter movement, and just the severity of what was happening to us versus these people not being peaceful. These people being very aggressive, them knowing their intentions to, first of all, fuck up history, because they have went down in history. I don't know how McGraw-Hill gonna put this shit in the books, but they fuck. I seen a meme. They said black folks gonna be in the back like, Don't forget about fucking January 6th. Don't forget about 2021,
You
bitch.
write that shit right up in there. I just thought of something. Two things. The first thing is that this shit was so bad that the white people were disgusted. Like, there was a white man on the street, a resident of DC. He said, "Fucking crackers." I said, "Oh my God, they calling each other crackers, honey." I ain't never said it. That was hilarious to me. I actually was in this bedroom and I screamed like someone was attacking me. And I was so loud. Secondly, let me tell you how weak these bitches are. They really got themselves together. They're like, "Oh, revolution." And when the results of said revolution came about, they were so shocked. Like, I cannot believe somebody punched me in my face. I cannot believe that I've been tear gassed. I cannot believe that like the police actually attacked. They were screaming, "No!" Like, you didn't watch this happen like what 6 months ago? Like, you
And of
just
course they
did
didn't.
not.
They
You
shot a
didn't
white
see this.
woman, and like like the people around her, like I saw the video of the woman who was shot specifically. She busted a window, and it looked like they were inside of the building. And I heard that because the VP was there, they could have used like harsher
Oh,
methods.
they could have execution style.
Not the bomb, just to like shoot her. And I'm just like, why are y'all dismayed by this? You literally are violently attacking like our government. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, they're gonna shoot you. They're
They
gonna take
said
you out.
don't. They said don't call them protesters. Now, I heard they was calling them thugs, and I was
I was
cheering.
laughing.
Thugs.
I was cracking up. I said, see, look, y'all, thugs can be white too.
Thugs are
Look.
white. What are you talking about? Thugs are white.
Look, y'all, thugs can be white as well.
Oh, shout out to everyone who has been a part of like this is actually a really remarkable moment. Like at no point in our lifetimes has whiteness been examined in this way, large scale. Chris Evans, I saw that his tweet had gotten over 1 million likes, and he was like, he said if these were black or brown people, that like the carnage would be ridiculous. So the fact that we're now at a point, and this is what they've been afraid of. This is why they're attacking the Capitol, because exactly this. They do those things, and we're smarter. White
Yeah.
people are smarter, so they have figured out. Oh shit! Like this racism exists, and like this shit is awful. And now that they're being held accountable for it, now that black and brown people are getting positions of power, now that the playing field is getting a little bit more even, they are shaking in their motherfucking boots, honey.
I don't think they're smarter at all. I don't think that it's about them being smart. I think they just have privilege. Like it's just generational privilege. So like
I'm talking about the ones holding them accountable. The ones who are just so like shocked, who are just like, oh shit, like this is bad. Like suddenly those niggas like woke up. And like that is a white supremacist's biggest fear. They really wanted this to be the revolution, the thing that started the Civil War, the modern Civil War, so that they could reestablish and make sure that we knew white supremacy was not only here to stay, but was going to continue to dominate. And
Capitalism, imperialism, all those things were on the front stage. And like I think it's important that we're also in this moment. Like I've seen a lot of different reactions of people like, yes, white privilege was at play, but I think we should name like what are these harmful systems and forces that are specifically like attacking like folks' like class and like who they are, like this fucking cishet patriarchy that we are still existing in. Like, let's name those things in 2021 and not sugarcoat it and be like, this is white privilege. We're not doing that. And literally, I like my friend Adrian Davey like shared that with me, and I was like, yes.
like a deliberate decision to take out black and brown people and protect, if not encourage, white supremacists. Like this is anti-black and anti-brown. Like that just is what it is. And that's the conversation that we need to have, because it's significantly more violent than saying white privilege. White privilege, we talk about the benefits, right? So it's just like, oh, we don't get what they get. Talking about anti-blackness and anti-brownness is like, oh, this shit is like violent. Like this is fucking wrong.
I think that is very important to address, is the negative connotations that we do not speak about vocally about. Yes, the resources that white privilege comes with, but bitch, the detriment that has to other races that are not white is the issue. Like and we've seen this happen in history. They will fucking blow up a whole town if they see us having our own resources coming together. they will fucking take us out for the fear that we are in a capacity to be somewhat equal, not even on the same path, but
Right.
equal.
Right.
They fear us having an advantage, quote unquote, which we of course probably will never have an advantage due to the systems that have been integrated into our lives throughout history. But it's the fact that like you all are so pressed, you all are so feared of the unknown that what we have, that you are really y'all ready to annihilate us off of assumptions. That is the most puzzling thing to me, that you are afraid of who we are, that you will take us out massively, destroy families, homes, communities, because you fear that we might be even in the same tax bracket that you white motherfuckers are in. I just like I'm just trying to eat, I'm trying to feed my family. I don't think we care about white people enough that they care about us. We do care about what they've done to us, but I don't think we care to the fact that we ain't trying to be on your path because we know what y'all capable of.
Yeah, we
We are
can do
trying to
better
be,
too.
we know we can do better. First of all, go Charles, because I'm
Um, Speaking about, you talked about fear, which I think is like, this is like the basis of all of these conversations. It's like fear of power being taken away, and for them to no longer to be the sole decision makers in our communities. I think the media has a real problem and issue. Literally, shout out to my community because they're spilling all of these things into me, but like the fact that when we discuss like races in the South, whether it was like Jamie Harrison in South Carolina or the Georgia races, it isn't that the main reason is that there are these like demographic shifts, like, oh my gosh, like people moving to Atlanta, like more niggas can vote. More black people can vote because of the work of black organizers like Stacey Abrams, um, Latasha Williams. I'm probably messing up her name, but like
Mhm.
these folks who are literally expanding the electorate to participate. The votes are there, and the voting blocks of black people has always been strong. And the fact that like Georgia is like one state that was able to kind of prevail in their efforts doesn't mean that it's not happening in other places. And I think
Absolutely.
that we
Yeah.
need to recognize that, and the fact that this is also like giving a lot of white people like in those legislatures pause and fear, because they're like, oh my God, like more black people are gonna be able to vote, and then they're gonna be able to like expand rights, and like they're gonna be able to participate more, and like it's gonna be a shit show
Yeah.
if they're on the same level as us. And I
Yes.
think
We
the
taking
media
these bitches out.
What
like
you
the
know?
media also has a obligation to do a better job of investigative journalism and like
Mm.
uncovering and telling niggas that okay, it's actually like organizers on the ground that are expanding like the types of IDs that are allowed when voting, helping with like getting out the vote, rideshare programs. All of these things contributed to what the fuck we saw in Georgia. And like the cab and fucking Fulton County, they expanded like the people who were able to fucking vote. It wasn't like there's been this huge shift. I think people have been moving to Atlanta. Atlanta is becoming like a new hub as people move away
Hmm.
from expensive ass places like the Bay.
DC, the LA,
DC.
yeah, California,
Right.
yeah.
Get the
And
fuck up out of
so
here.
I think that's something else that we have to name when we're talking about this fear around power being taken away from white people. Because like the demographics of the country are shifting, which is only gonna aid to the efforts that we're putting in now and the groundwork that's been happening for like a
Hmm.
decade to counteract white fear.
That was the entire purpose of Donald Trump's presidency, was that like we have talked about that consistently over the last 4 years, is that he won over like because of fear, because they was like, hey, they about to take this shit from us, y'all got to gear up because this is
Yeah.
about to be some real shit. But I think we underestimate the number of people who are trying to safeguard that power, because even the ones who seem like they're on our side, I mean, like think realistically, do people really want to give up their power? Like do like it's a bit I don't want to say that it's naive, but it's very hopeful to think that people are altruistic enough to say, I am willing to sacrifice a bit of my power so that you can have some. There are going to be a lot more people who safeguard that. I wanted to make a point that about the black anti-black violence, that over the last 60 70 years we have been gaslit about how awful that has been. Like people, so much so that they started saying like, "Oh, you're pulling the race card," as if like race is not embedded, like racism is embedded in like half of the egregious things that 95% of the egregious things that happen in this country, if it's not classism, which is rooted in racism.
Yeah.
So I want to say that we've come to a point now where it's so bad that they can no longer gaslight us. Like they really are opening their eyes, and this shit is. I'm gonna be interested. I'm gonna be interested to see how white people who are not for anti-blackness interact with other white people. I'm going to be really interested to see what advocacy looks like for the people who are genuinely pissed off right now. And that's all.
Yeah, I definitely am interested in that. I'm definitely interested in what is going to happen when shit starts to, take a change, take a turn for the good, more so. Not saying the better, but for a more progressive mindset. But I did want to ask you all, like, your thoughts about like when Trump like leaves office. Do you feel like the protest or these supporters will still be as openly racist as they have always been, or do you think that it was somewhat recluded back into their hole of propaganda?
It's going to get worse. They're going to be pissed. They're petulant children.
Yeah.
They they just destroyed the Capitol. Like I think in order to prevent the
They going for the White House next. They gonna go.
I jokingly said, why couldn't they have done that to the White House? But like, but
because Trump was in there. Their dictator, their cult leader was there. They weren't going to hurt him. Of course, they wanted to hurt because he's turned his back on Mike Pence. He's turned his back on everybody. Everybody in that space. So of course they're going to
events. What a turn of events!
Why we are not surprised. This man is one person that he's a big ass kid. So we're not surprised that he will turn on everybody who do not agree with him. His ego. We are not surprised about that.
Makes the fact that they elected this man significantly worse, because the one thing I know about it is, even though the people who stormed the Capitol building are the large portion of his base, there were people who are significantly smarter than that, significantly more educated than that, significantly richer than that, and they wanted this too. Like this shit is like, this wasn't a fucking like accident. There was an effort to get this man in the presidency.
Yeah. Whiteness is pervasive, and I think I hated hearing people say he's a businessman, so my business is gonna be intact. He gonna help my businesses out. Shut the fuck up! Like,
shut the fuck up.
Failed businesses, like what? Like you want him to be the person that's like, I mean, that tax cut, I think was tremendous for the 1% and like those.
Yes.
The top of monies, of course, they didn't have to pay shit. Which is annoying as hell when people complain about, oh, we can't cut these checks because people are not contributing in like equitable ways to like our revenue. So yeah,
I think
stress on that shit.
I think the selfishness was something that people was like proud of. Like, yes, I don't have to share my money. I don't have to do this for these people beneath us. I think that is an issue in our society, the capitalism. The people do not want to spread the money out evenly. They want to have it to themselves, and the hierarchy mindset, and that Trump enforced in our, well, not enforced, but like just confirmed, is something that I just was like very uncomfortable with. But I know I won't be in the 1%. I will be eventually, but I won't be on that path of the 1%. So
I feel like the 1% is like, what is that, billionaire?
Bitch, I'm gonna be a billionaire.
But see, I don't. They be exploiting people though.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. I'm gonna take the multi-million.
In order to get there, you have to
money on people's back.
Yeah, like I want to be comfortable, but at the same time, I don't want to like step on niggas' necks. Like,
true. Nah, dude.
It's gonna be niggas. It's gonna be brown people and black people. Like
You can't get to the top. You can't get to the. They like you cannot get to the top while still trying to
Like
uplift
Tyler
black
Perry,
people.
Oprah, stepping on niggas next. Like,
They like you're trying to.
What was that? What was that, Charles? What did you say?
Tyler Perry and Oprah. They exploited people in order to get to where they're at.
I feel like they go into a chamber with their hoods on and just are like, "Do you know what you have to do to get to this top? I have to step on niggas next. You damn sure right. Walk on forth. You have to sign the contract that you have to step on 100%, like 50% of niggas next to get to the top. And if you don't, you're going back to the slums. I will.
I'm done.
Huh?
Let's go to the meat and potatoes.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
I mean, like this far in, and we haven't talked about the main topic today.
I mean, that was the main topic: how white people are white. But we are going to get wow, that is so funny that we didn't get into. Oh well, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of why we're here. We're going to do that. First, I want to ask you all, since we've entered the new year, how is everyone feeling? Okay, let's take away. I can't even take away that shit. What do I want to say, Devin? Go for it. How are you feeling, y'all, so far? Let's just say, how are y'all feeling?
Great. This is my year, and I know that without a shadow of a doubt. Like, and I mean, I'm anticipating feeling human emotion, so I'm gonna feel sadness several times throughout the year and anger several times throughout the year. But nonetheless, this is going to be probably one of the most successful years of my life.
Charles Walker. I love saying your full name. I'm sorry, y'all. I say his name like that, like he is the Texas Ranger. So yeah.
I feel like this year will be the beginning of me really honing in on my roadmap to living a life where I will be more happy and secured in like my happiness and obtaining it. So like a year of planning and moving and shifting. I think that's what this year is going to entail. Truly planning intentionally, not just like being here. And not to say that like you can't just exist, because one's value should not be tied to what they're producing. I'm a huge like believer of that as well. Like if you just existed, that is more than enough. But yeah, I think for me it's gonna be like really intentional planning, and then moving back home.
Yeah. For me, I'm definitely in a space where I feel like 2021 is the year of a lot of change in the positive for me, financially, mentally, emotionally,
It is.
physically, all of that stuff. I'm already manifesting and putting things into perspective so that those things can actually happen. Like, for example, I work out every day now, which is something I'm physically helping with in my mental health. Financially, I'm starting the foundation to understand, define how my finances work and what I can put into having longevity in my money. And then just like also just like understanding specifically friendships and expectations that I have. And I also wanted to speak to you all about going into this new year, thinking about our friendships and our expectations that we have for those. What is something that you feel is necessary for you to have moving forward with your friendships and expectations together?
My number one thing is always intimacy. I need intimacy. I get so much out of it. So much of my power comes from it. Comes from the ability to love wholeheartedly and to be loved back. Um, I do a really good job of supporting other people in their personal journeys, and not by coincidence, I'm designed to be that way. So, and of course, I'm not like trying to take control of people's development, but any way that I can serve it is the way that I can. And I like it when people are vulnerable and intimate enough to allow me a chance to facilitate that. We'll never steer it, we'll never direct it, but you know, if you got questions and you think I can answer them, I'm more than happy to do so.
Yeah. I'll go because I know the order we keep going in is so cliche, like Devin, Charles, me.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, I think definitely I am in the space of strengthening the foundation of my friendships. And more so, with that being said, feeling more so that I'm creating relationships that are mutually applicable to me and the friend that I'm specifically interacting with at that time to help us achieve our goals together as one. I'm specifically somebody I love protecting and supporting my friends in any way ever. If you need me to wear eyelashes for your lash shop, bitch, I will. If you need me to be the face of of your scarf line, I will. And I'm definitely looking into friends that I can keep that relationship with and slowly but surely dissolve the ones that I don't think are necessarily in the category of expectations that I have moving forward. Because right now I'm definitely in a space of having intentional intimacy, platonic and physical. I mean, relationship wise, romantic. Um, but I'm really trying to create a space where the friendships that I created right now are strengthening. I'm not saying I'm not allowing people in to my circle right now, but I am on a brief pause where I'm looking at the inner circles that I have and understanding where they all fit and how I can be a best for them in my energy. Because I realize I can't spread myself too thin. So I'm trying to figure out where is the best space that I fit into Charles's life, I fit into Devin's life, I fit into Tiffany's, because we all need something different. And I want to be able to pinpoint the energy that I need to give to you, Charles, is not the same that I'm giving to Devin, or vice versa, so that I am creating a friendship that is long standing. So yeah. I think that it's very important to look at the friendships that you are developing and realize, like Devin, you always say that this is an intimate thing. And I think a lot of people do not think of it like that. And I think we need to reimagine our friendships as forms of intimacy and
Yes,
not
that's
just as something that's romantic, but just to think like, the same way that you want a partner, the same way that you want to treat your partner is the same way you should treat your friends. Not the physical, the sexual aspect of it, of course, but the time, the energy. I mean, shit. Who if you want to do it with your friends, you want to do it with your friends. But
And
yeah, I
that's
want us
not
to look at that.
it's secret
That's
sharing. It's like you want a rich social life. You want I mean, of course, so I've always had a tier. So there's like friends and they're like acquaintances and they're like people I know. And you can do whatever with whomever when it's like an acquaintance. Is that there's no real expectation there. But if you're going to be in my actual friend circle, there's a level of trust that needs to be there because I'm going to be myself authentically and I expect the same of you. Otherwise, it's unbalanced. It's me giving you every bit of me that is available, and you giving nothing. And what can we receive from that? How can you enrich my life and I am if I'm the only person enriching yours and you have no desire to share the real part of you with me?
Mm,
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, you guys brought up a lot of things that I think about, but for me, it's just expectation is I want to be able to be myself. I want you to be able to be yourself. I don't want to ever feel as though I'm performative in any way. And I feel like if you know what I'm talking about in terms of like, oh, okay, so this is how I show up in this space. Like, I want you to, and with you, I would want you to feel comfortable in bringing your full self. Tell me your things. If we're friends, and I definitely believe that there are tiers with that, and like, you'll see your peoples, and then you'll see your peoples, and like your inner circle. And so I also do want to work on really making sure that I am listening to
mm,
listen, and vice versa. I think that sometimes you will just be ready like a motherfucker to share,
respond.
to respond, and to share your news and to share like your trauma. But like, are you really helping your friend with theirs? And if you can't, like, are you connecting them to a resource to get them through that? If you have the capacity to do so. And I think it's important for you to name if you don't, and folks should understand that. Depending upon the frequency of it and what the history of the friendship is, then you might need to like, so look. bitch, you can never help me. Like I'm get out of here. You talking about your shit, and you can never provide me anything like feasible, and you can't tell me why, and that's not okay for me. For me, this is my own
No,
definition.
no, I
Like,
think that is
yeah,
very important, Charles. And I'm sorry to interrupt.
no, you're good.
Yeah, I think that is very important to be able to name that the transactions or the gestures or the relationship that is happening. Because what I think I told Devin the other night was, it's not a transaction if it's only one way. It's just a gesture. It's not. We're not back and forth. You're not giving me my change back. You're just simply gesturing a sign of, just talking to me and aiding me. And I think that in order for us to be able to create these goals and expectations, we need to remember to have people that are in our space to help us, remind us of those goals, and also help us through those spaces. And I think that it's hard. It is hard to go look at friendships and really evaluate what they are to you and what they can do for you. I know, unfortunately, it's very hard to cut off people that you've known for 10 plus years, or gradually dissolve them or demote them to friend of a show, but it's something that you have to think about. And I wanted to ask you all, do you tell when you are putting your friends in these categories, if you do, of like associate, of best friend, or acquaintances, what are those things that make that the like staple, and do you communicate that to them as well, or whatever?
I'll go. For me, I think in my experiences, I was about to say I haven't had a lot of friends, but no, but like but
If you and also, Charles, if that is your experience, you are right to feel that way, but then of course give explanation if you feel that way, because I don't.
no,
I
no.
say that.
I have an amazing core group of people. There has been an instance of when maybe I'll just talk about one person. I did have a really close friend,
Hmm.
and me and him were super close throughout college, and we used to do everything together. I remember he studied abroad, and when he did that, um, like I cried, and I didn't think that that would necessarily happen, but like I loved him so much, like literally as a brother. It wasn't like a crush. It wasn't like a this gonna be my nigga. Like we about to be doing it because one, he was not queer, and so I'm not, so I'm not doing that. But it was the first time that I really like cried off of a friend, and I said, "Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I love him so much, and he's not here." And once he like came back, we were okay, and then we had some other conversations around my sexuality and the fact that I am bi. And he will never like admit this. I'm putting him on blast a little bit. Like he'll never admit this, but like there definitely was a shift. And there was the excuse of, sometimes you gotta go into isolation to level up, and like, these quotes being shown and shared. And I think in that instance, the way that we became like brothers and best friends, and then I just became like an associate, was he just like faded away. I have never done that. For me, it's like all the wrongs that I've experienced from friends, I eventually aim to try to fix that, or they've removed themselves from my life. I've never like distancing myself from a friend. I've never had that experience. I probably should, with some people maybe. No.
You got to go through that arc.
Or
You got to go through
yeah,
that file.
yeah, and be like, hold up, how are
Yeah.
we? Like let me do a check in
Your
on my
track
list.
record, honey.
But yeah, I don't think I don't even know what an associate is, like, because I value people so much. Like I want people to be like good, and like y'all know me. Like I'm like, okay,
Yes.
we're like,
I love that about you, Charles. You're very sweet.
like how's
You're
everyone
very.
feeling? Like what are our thoughts? And like I'm so invested in like everyone that I come in contact with, because I don't know. It's just like it's a lonely world, but also like when you have certain ideals of how you want your life to be, and you finally able to like have someone who is similar to you, especially if they're queer and black, and they look like you, and just like you might be aligned with certain things, you want it to you want it to work, or if they have like a shared just like value system, you want it to work really well. And like I think I also have to learn to not sacrifice all of my energy into that process as well. That's something that I'm still learning. And I be tired sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck am I tired? I got 9-8 hours of sleep. Boy, it's because you're literally thinking about these people, and you're trying to like please them in certain ways.
Yeah.
That it's okay to say no to people. It's also okay to tell someone like, actually, that was fucked. That was fucked what you did. And it bothered me this way. And for me to not be afraid to like, if they say I'm not your friend anymore, okay, bitch. Like I'm, it wasn't meant to be. If it was able to like for me to kind of tell you about yourself and how you made me feel, for you to like disengage in that way, then it wasn't worth it. To begin. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. That's just yeah.
No, I get it. Were you?
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
Oh no, Devin, I didn't want to interject if you were about to speak.
Oh no, I'm really good about communicating with my friends. I'm good about apologizing when I feel like I've done something wrong. Most of the time, I'm over analyzing a situation, and they don't give a fuck. And I've always hold my friends account. I've gotten better about this, at least holding my friends accountable when I have been harmed or scathed. And the first time I ever had to have a conversation about trying to demote a friend, it was a friend that I've been friends with for the longest time. We have I think at this point it's a 21-year-old relationship.
Oh wow.
And this was the first time that I realized intimacy is really important to me, because I felt like she wasn't sharing any bit of her life with our friend group. And because I had just come out, I was like, okay, there's no more secret, like there's no more hiding. And I had given her enough chances to do the same, and everyone else as well. But at some point, it was like, I don't actually know you, and you can't be friends with someone that you don't know. And so I was like, "Hey, I'm not gonna like stop associating with you, but I'm not going to be able to call you one of my best friends and this still be our relationship.
Yeah.
Like you can you can maintain whatever information you want to like maintain. You can hide that or whatever, but I still get the power to decide how I interact with you. And if I don't want to be your best friend because I feel like you're not sharing that level of yourself as well, then I'm definitely entitled to do that. And whenever there's something that's missing from a relationship, I try to do the same thing. Like my friend told me this on Monday, that her perception of me is that I have a lot of deep relationships with a lot of people. This is accurate. And I don't get to talk to those people every day. So some people are super close to me, and they only hear from me like every 2-3 months. Um, and that has a lot to do with me being a human being and not being able to balance. I won't demote you because we don't speak every day. I won't demote you because we don't live near each other. It's all about when we do speak, what is that like?
Mm-hmm.
Are we intimate? Are we honest? Can we transport ourselves back to where we were when we were together? Because most of the time that's what it is. Like we were in a physical space together, now we're not. The same way that I can maintain a relationship with my family from thousands of miles away, the same thing can happen with friends.
Yeah, I think the reason I wanted to bring up friendships and expectations is because we are in a space where our friendships are not able to just be physical. I know a lot of us understand that some of our friendships are because of close proximity, because of we work with this person or we've been in the same area so many times. But I think looking at now we're not able to do that, reevaluating who we have in our circle or looking at now is something I feel like has been brought to the forefront for me personally, and I am known to have a lot of friendships. I'm known to have a lot of relationships with people and things of that nature, to the point where, like you said, Devin, I don't have to see you for years, but when we get in the same space, the energy is never lost. We are checking in with each other, we are feeding each other, nourishing each other, and things of that. But I did notice in my space that I have friendships that were not that way. It was relationships with, do you want to go out? Do you want to drink? Do you want to party? Do you want to? And I'm like, now that's not happening. That relationship is not there anymore. So I was really thinking about you all's responses or reactions to that as well. Because I know for me, that is something I had to notice. Like, damn, I have not really talked to this person in months. And was our friendship just very much surface level or physical close proximity? Or was it something that was us nourishing each other um, mutually? So I wanted to think about that and ask you all's opinions about that. But now I wanted to shift gears to now we are about to hit our 1 year anniversary. Because I'm going to fucking say 1 year because we're going to be here in March. How have you all adjusted to the new normal of quarantining and COVID restrictions on so many things?
I don't like being around a whole bunch of people, no way. So that doesn't change anything. Sometimes I like going to the store and wearing a mask. That's not a problem for me. I don't want to ever have to wear a mask when I'm sitting amongst a group of people that I love. I think we deserve to see each other's faces. Um, but I I feel like there's something I'm missing, and I think it might just be like being able to go to like a restaurant and chill out and not have to be limited. And maybe it's like not being able to go to the intimate concerts that I used to love. But short of that, like I personally love not having to be in a space with like 1,000 people because it's people are dirty and their energies are contagious, and sometimes I
Really.
just need a fucking break.
Yeah. I'll go. For me, I enjoy the intentionality that comes with this space. That comes with the having to spend time intimately with friends, family, things of that nature that I would have not probably been able to have or chose not to do. I would have tried to have some distractor or filler in between the relationship that I'm having with somebody. But now I am enjoying, for example, we had a vision board party for New Year to celebrate the new year, and I really appreciated the opportunity to come together with my friends and speak about our goals and our visions post and pre-COVID. Just well, pre-COVID, I mean post-COVID, so that we know what I can help you with and moving forward in your vision. But I think I hate COVID because of course there's just so many restrictions, you can't do as much. But I do appreciate I think I'm using it as more of an intentional thing for me to create and strengthen the relationship that I have. So I'm like, girl, now we got to talk. Now we got to get to know each other. Now I need to know what you're really thinking. Now I need to know what's going on in that brain of yours. So I'm adjusting to it, but I'm definitely like, child. I appreciate the stuff that's coming from it.
I'll just add I've appreciated. Yeah, I wasn't the hugest. Oh, let's go out. Ooh, like I love a good chill, uh, put on some type of media, whether that be a movie, some
Oh,
song.
CNN.
MSNBC.
Love
Charles
them.
But
Charles loves to say like when we work because me and Charles work together. Charles is quick to be like, "Bitch, you about to pull out MSNBC. We about to choose a CNN current topic, and we
Goddamn
gonna
right.
debunk. We gonna talk." So
Goddamn
continue.
right.
10, I'll be like, or we can get the view popping. I mean, y'all know me. I love the view.
Yes.
The new view.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I think I am still missing like not being like physically in California. Like even if I was in Cali, I probably would still be like in the house, but I would have the option of
Mm.
potentially like going to the beach. I'm always talking about the beach as well. I'm like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And I was able to go one time, but I have appreciated the friends that I have been able to see in person, whether it's like in a park with my friend Alexa or like doing the routine of having I have like a weekly used to have a weekly movie night thing with my friend Alexa and Beatrice, and we were on it,
Routine.
and then I because there'd be moments where I'd be like, oh you guys, I can't actually, I have a thing, and I love that we were so okay with someone being like rain check, because you kind of there was a moment where I kind of felt like pressure to kind of like keep on doing it, even when I didn't feel like doing it. But then I voiced it eventually, and it's now like whenever we want to do it. So I do like the routines that have been able to pop up from that because my friend is in law school on the West Coast, so we're able to still see each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was looking at Devin.
Why are you looking at me?
Did you talk?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He shared. Yeah,
I literally went first.
we talked about the literally, yeah.
I completely forgot. Devin.
Girl.
I completely forgot. No, I think it's just also piggybacking off what you said, Charles. I think it's really important to have those tough conversations with your friends, just because some shit you just need to say and you just need to be able to communicate. And if they're real friends, they should be able to accept that and understand it, because it's very essential to have. Not every thing your friend does or you do is going to be acceptable in their eyes. So the fact that you're able to address that and still be able to like move forward is something that I always notice with my friends. Like, okay, when we have these tough conversations, how do we move and all that stuff?
People take for granted that those conversations really do strengthen the relationship. Like it isn't just about holding you
Yeah,
accountable, it's also about building that intimacy. Like your parents can tell you you're wrong every fucking day, and then when you're done, it's like, all right, you still love me. It's about establishing unconditional love. Like, yeah, I can be pissed off because you did this shitty thing, and then after I process my emotions, we're back. Because that's what love looks like. That's what
Yeah.
healthy love looks like. If you can, unless it is a completely despicable, disrespectful thing that shows that they don't value you,
Yeah.
you can come back from these things. You just have
Ab-
to. I learned because I used to respond when people hurt my feelings. I wouldn't tell them. And what happened was I would build this resentment. And I read something online. I always go to Google to solve my problems. And it said, when you don't tell people how they upset you, you don't give them a chance to make it right. And you're not
mm,
being fair to them.
yeah.
So you have to give the opportunity to show people, number one, that you unconditionally love them, and number two, that they can be human and
Yeah.
still have you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate. I think that is very important. I think that because I have a lot of people like, "Oh, your friend did that to you. That is so y'all need to cut it off." I'm like, well, some things yes, but then some things it's like, no, let's talk about it and see if they can acknowledge it or understand what happened or blah blah blah. Because I've had people be like, "Cut that person off." I'm like, girl, we gonna talk about it. That's my friend. But I wanted to wrap up and I wanted to ask you all, do you all have a phrase that you would love, a phrase that you would hope would manifest out? What? Okay. Do you all have a phrase that you would love to use or is your like motto for 2021? I have one. So if y'all want me to start
Yeah,
it off,
lead. Go
yes,
ahead.
yes.
my phrase for 2021 is to play the game. And when I say play the game, is understand there are things that are set up for you that you need to just do and not like be afraid of like second guessing and things like that. Understand the strategics of certain things and also just like be okay with like how certain things end out. It like turn out. Just play the game, see how it goes. You will win the game at the end of the day. Of course, after some retries and some game overs, but bitch, you will win the game when you know the game. So that is mine. Play the game that is put in your hands.
Charles.
Um, I don't know if I necessarily have a phrase, but and this word is very much so. I don't care that it's always being used, but there's intentionality, like in all the aspects of my life. So really securing decisions that will provide a true map to my wellness, whether that's like my mental health, which I'm working on, my family, my friendships, um, and just how I'm supporting people. Because I want to also make sure that I am these phrases of like giving and taking and being a taker. And like I want to make sure that I'm also supporting in ways that I know that people have supported me. So I think it's just like being intentional in my decision making is what this year is really going to be about for me.
Yes.
Yes.
And then last but not least, our beloved Derwin Devin
Much
King.
beloved, huh?
Dr. King,
Dr.
Um,
King, Paging Dr. King.
I'm done.
We talked about that too. We can talk about that in the next show, but like who are good, who are what
So,
housewife we are or what
Bitch,
media are.
I was gonna bring it up, but then I was like, we don't have the time, honey.
We'll
I
do
was
it next
definitely gonna
season,
bring it
next
up.
episode.
I got you, girl.
But
I
yeah,
got you.
continue. Yeah.
Mine would be may the seeds I planted be ripe for the harvest, and the love I am be mirrored back in money, money, money.
Yes. We love to hear that. First of all, thank you all for being a part. Well, first of all, Devin, not thank you because girl, we do this. But Charles, thank you so much for stepping in and talking to us. I really appreciate that you are down to be a guest whenever we ask for it.
Love to
Charles
fucking have you.
is we love your insight, we love your conversations, your positivity. So we really appreciate that. If people would love to continue the conversation with you, Charles, please tell us your socials that they can follow you at.
okay, so my I was like, let me make sure I know what I'm talking about. My IG is just, oh my gosh, I don't know. It's just Charlie Walk underscore,
Charlie
and
Walk
then
underscore.
Charlie Walk underscore. My Twitter itself, because I'm trying to engage with it. It's Charlie Walk double underscore. So it's just
Double
a double,
underscore. Social media,
double.
Instagram.
Yeah,
Instagram, Charlie Walk underscore. Twitter is Charlie Walk underscore underscore. He is
yeah.
You'll
great
probably
for the
find it.
politics. You can.
You said what?
You'll probably find it with the first underscore.
Yeah.
Just know the difference.
You definitely will. He got the political shit down pack. If y'all want to have some
Yes,
conversations about the politics and what's going on, he'll tell you some shit and inform you.
a resource.
A resource. And if you all would love to continue the conversation with me on my social media, as you all know, you can hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at underscore lordevery. That is underscore LORDEVERY on Instagram and Twitter.
You guys know you can find me on Instagram at derwinking. That's DERWINKING. And on Twitter at Free Negro. That's FREENEGREAUX.
Yes, and also you all. So next week, well, when is the air drop? Well, anyways, so January 14th, we will be having our first live episode at 8 p.m. January 14th on Instagram Live and YouTube. So we would love for you all to come out, support, chill, hang with us, get to know us. We're going to do a show like we usually do, but we want you all's engagement and audience participation and things like that, just to celebrate us going into our second year of That Black Boy Joy podcast, That Black Boy Joy. So, like I said, January 14th at 8 p.m., we will be live on Instagram and YouTube, and we'll give you updates, of course, if something changes, but that is what's happening. And then also, if you all would love to continue the conversation with us on our Instagram and Twitter, you can hit us up at That Black Boy Joy. And if you would like to be a guest on the show or write into us, you can hit us up at thatblackboyjoy@gmail.com. And of course, you will have to check us out on YouTube at That Black Boy Joy. So that you can see us live, our lovely faces. And like we always say, please be so in love with who you are.